everyone, how's it going? Is everyone doing well today? We are going to continue work on level 2 of Toy Story Reassembled. Hello Anna, Juan, and Aqua. Glad to have y'all here. Yeah, so we have the soldiers, the new mesh for the soldiers. Those look really cool. I'll show those in just a second. And then where is my... Okay. We have the new mesh for the soldiers. We're going to do that. We're going to do the toxic sludge that drops from the tree. I forgot that was a feature until I just replayed the game. And so I needed to add that. And so we'll be doing that. And then we may be doing a little like optimization thing for like the Zerg car when it explodes. We have a new model for that as well. And when it explodes into pieces, it actually has 16 pieces. So I think we're going to make it to where it randomly decides between like 6 to 8 of them to spawn instead of all 16. Because all 16 get stuck inside each other, and so they don't actually disperse everywhere like they're supposed to. But yeah. How's it going? Hello, Metal Dad. Hello, Restart Game TV. I was testing out multi-stream, and it shows I'm live on Twitch on OBS, but nothing is actually happening on my Twitch, and so I don't know where it's streaming to. So we're gonna give that a few minutes and I'll turn it off if it doesn't work. But anyways, yeah, I'm just trying to set up some multi-stream. That way more people, it's more accessible to more people. That'll be very cool. But yeah, it's not looking like it's working at the moment. Anyways, so let's go to here. We have our Trello board with all of our tasking. You can see that we have the new car model. This looks very sharp. Very clean. I like it. And that's actually in the level and implemented everything like that. We also have a new toy soldiers. These are really cool because they actually have like little like plastic, when like plastic melts together on like really cheap toys. You can see down here at the bottom it has that. So very fun. Hello Degumus. Glad to have everyone here. But yeah, so these guys we're gonna start putting them in the level. Right now the Sergeant and the soldiers I believe are different. The Sergeant has more hip equipment and the soldiers don't. Yeah, I mean there's not much to do about that, but yeah, but these look really cool. I have not tested I have not seen these in engine yet. Kyle put them in the engine, or at least I think he did. If he didn't put in the engine, then we're not going to do the soldiers, but yeah, super detailed. These are, it actually may be a little bit too detailed because these guys are really small. They probably go up to about the size of like Buzz's shin or kneecap. I don't know for sure. We're just gonna throw them in there today, and I'll worry about sizing them perfect later. If they're not already the correct size, they may already be. But yeah, that's that. So here it is. Here's the engine. We're looking at level 1 right now, but we'll actually go. We do have some more levels that's in the game, but they don't do anything right now. So right now, here's level 3, which it's just like it steals the fence mesh from everything here, and then keeps like some of the big assets, but none of these assets have been replaced yet. But you can just walk around in this. The grass is taller here. So it you know, it looks pretty good. I really need to spend time looking at this ghosting effect, like off of stuff, because TAA is not doing it for me, unfortunately. But I do like the taller grass in this area where you would shoot or you would fight the airplane enemy. But that's level 2. Last time we streamed, we'll also show like a recap of stuff because we've not done stuff in a while. I've actually, oh, you know what? Actually, let's go to the main menu. Let's get everything like actually 16 by 9 for the showcase this demo. All right. Oh, it's a little off screen for y'all. Oh no, right there. Okay, so we can hit new game. I built in a save system, and so now, as you go to each level, it'll keep track of which levels that you actually collect pizza tokens for. Now I'm having to rewrite all of the missions behavior from scratch because it did not actually accommodate multiple levels. So that's a little unfortunate. You are going to see a cheese real quick here as well, by the way. Actually, let's man, I need to get my controller because I cannot play this with a keyboard and mouse. I need to run and start. There. Yeah, you can totally cheese this level. Alright, so we have basement driller. Now if we exit the level, I'm playing off OBS. There's something like that. Now it keeps track of everything like that. And it is actually an actual save system. And so if I exit here, well, it should save. I don't know if it will because I'm in the middle of changing all the quests. But theoretically, if I go in the main menu, I hit play, and I hit continue, yeah, it keeps track of it. It does this in the build as well, not just editor. So I built the save system. That's pretty fun. Yeah, I really like all this. Hey. All right, but here we have actually level 2 so far, and there's like a lot of work that's done to this. Here's the new Zerg cars. They look massive, but this is how big they were in the original game. And you can see there's too many pieces, so they actually get stuck inside each other. So that's what we may fix today if there's time for it. Yeah. Those look really good. I'm like super excited for them. But yeah, we'll fix that. I need to set stuff to start within a range. That way they can actually not spawn on top of each other. But there we go. Yeah, and the grass actually like isn't that big of a hit. Nothing wrong. On performance, surprisingly, like the outdoor scene is like much better on performance than like Andy's room because there's actually only one single light source, which is the skylight. So that helps a lot. Thank you, Pathos. That's so nice of you to say. New world record. I'm gonna get my controller here in a second. I'm using the cord to charge my phone. That is plenty good enough. Okay. Let me get my controller because I am not a mouse and keyboard player. Okay, so we're good with that now. What is that? Okay, I am going to turn off the Twitch multi-stream because it's not working, and I don't know if there's a performance hit, so we're just going to deactivate that if I can. I pushed the button and it's not deactivating, so I guess that's not going to happen. It's all right. Okay, y'all about ready to... I'm the Chad for making this. Well, thank you so much. That's nice of you to say. I don't know about that, but it's nice of you to say. Yeah, none of the level select has been worked on. We've talked through like technical ideas of how to get the effect working in this engine, but none of the art has actually been made. So, yeah, I think we're actually going to start by making the spawner pieces limit the amount of objects that are allowed to spawn. And and I think that will that'll be much more performant. It's also not very difficult to add that, so that should be fine. The tree leaves, yeah. So I'll say our next task is the posh yard. I'm calling this the posh yard, the courtyard, Andy's yard, and the messy yard. The posh yard is being worked on next. I think specifically the duck. After the posh yard is done, except the house, because we're not redoing houses at this time, then it's the tree. And we had like a 40-minute meeting, Kyle and I, on a Discord call about how to get this on a technical level, because it is such a huge asset that we have to do it a very specific way to not make it look bad on its texture. Anyways, let's start with the sheep. So we can go to collectibles, soldiers, click all 5 of these. Can I change them all at once? I can't because that's fine. Okay, and well, it's not the sheep mesh. It's gonna be toy soldier. Look at that. Okay. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so that's why. And then shrink that down. These guys are going to be really hard to see, so that also maybe another case of where we make them look bigger than they actually are. But we also need to shoot up a firework whenever we get near them, because that's what the original game did, and I think that's a really good indicator to let you know if that's a really good indicator for if like to help the player see them. We're gonna copy this so I can do that faster. Yeah, this guy, look at him. Are they a little? Okay, is this okay? Cool. Okay, that sorted it. We got that one. Reset this and reset this. Good deal. So there's like actually a few things I have to reset on this. This is what I get for copying a level. Symphony of the Night. I've never played that game, but it definitely deserves like a fun fan remaster / remake. I don't know if it needs like a professional one. I never played the game, but from what I've seen, it's like pretty good looking. You know, a 2D game on the PS1 is not the most like common thing, so that's kind of cool that that's how it is. Okay, and we will be looking into multi-stream again at another time. It just didn't work, and there's not really like any way for me to test it correctly. Put there, and then sheep should be the soldiers. No, I don't want to move the soldier. I want to move the whole asset. These guys may be big enough to be a little bit more easily seen. Up here on the tree, so we can get this. I may have to update the sphere size because that probably got all kinds of messed up. I'm also not going to worry about moving them around. Like in the original game, they kind of like hopped around in little circles typically, sometimes. Did they? I think it depends on the unit actually. So that may not be like 100% rule. But we'll do that. Here. Grab this and pull it down. Good deal. I've actually not watched anything from the State of Play yet, so I haven't seen it. But a new Final Fantasy Tactics would be fun. It is the same sound, I believe. I mean, it is from the original game, but yeah, it's yeah, Bralex, I could do something like that where it's like an emoji, like when you get close. I don't know. Emojis really don't fit this game style though. Like it makes it a little bit more modern than it actually is. Cause I mean, it'd be like a semicolon, open parentheses, or close parentheses for a smiley face if I did an emoji. I'm not even sure I want to. Sphere radius 4. Yeah. We'll make this 60, and we'll also bring it up so that, is that, yeah, okay. We'll call that, and its location is 50 on the Z. Let's just copy this. What if I just like make it 50? Yeah, let's go 60. Okay, so now I gotta do all that for each individual guy. Oh, it's off center. The static. Oh, this was moved. Okay. That's why we double check. And this guy, the sphere, should be set up on him as well. Whoops. So what would normally happen, and what you should do, is you would have the new mesh, and you create your first soldier, and you set all this, and then you duplicate that, and it carries over. Right now, these are all duplicated from the sheep, which is why I did that. I could have actually just done one, deleted the other 4, and replaced them, but it's easier to just update those few variables, then create new soldiers and move them around everywhere again, you know. So there we go. That works out. So soldiers are already updated. Let's see how they look. This guy won't appear until we do the puzzle, but he's surrounded by green. The description on the quest is wrong, which those quests won't be visible forever. I do not intend on having those like actually be visible, at least like during gameplay. Although it makes sense for you to like be able to know what quest has not been done if you do a replay. The good thing about this save load system that I built is I can also start tracking like collectibles, like specific collectibles. So instead of you having to recollect all 5 of Bo Peep's sheep if you leave, you only have to collect the ones that you missed on the first playthrough. And I can make them on your, when you return, I can make them just like, you know, kind of see through. And there he is, although he is above the ground. I need to reset his location, but that's fine. So there's that one. The one on the clothesline I don't think is technically possible right now. Let's see. But can I see him? Like, is he easy to spot? Oh yeah, you can see him. Especially if he shoots up like fireworks every once in a while. Like a little flare. But you can't reach them right now is the issue, I don't think. You can't jump on the board on fences next to out of bounds. So you have to get on another one. Here. Oh, that's also considered out of bounds, so. Oh, what am I doing? I have a controller. Oh my goodness, I instantly messed up too. Let's try that again. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to keep that specific effect, but I did do it to at least create some kind of particle effect in place so that I can just do like an art swap if I decide to change them. I don't know if I'm going to or not, but the option is at least, oh man. That's what I get for playing off of OBS, which I keep doing because it's open right there. No! It's okay. We saw him. The cement was slightly updated, do not look quite so much like sand, but it's still not like an actual like shader. It is just a texture, so there's no like ripple effects when you go through it. I don't know how complicated it is. Yeah, these guys are like much easier to be seen, although they are definitely the wrong size technically, I would think. I need to... This unlocks something, but it's not... I don't remember which one it is. I think it's Dark Buzz is what you actually unlock. Yeah, well in the original game, the fences were just textures. And so if you were able to do it, it would be like pixel perfect, I would think. Which is not feasible. He's floating. I did not notice that. That one, and then also need to change the UI icon. You can see at the top it's still sheep. But let's see, this should be down. Yeah, the planks are down because I don't have pushable planks yet. Right, there's a way you can get over there. Hold on. Oh, it's on top of the fence. This fence is easier to run on though because it's actually flat. I also just realized y'all's like the music may be kind of a distraction because I'm playing music and the level has music. Because I'm working on a build, and so I had to like have all the features in. Can I reach this? Oh, not like that. Oh my goodness. I can't do this under the pressure. Oh. No, that's not how you do it. How do I get over there? Is it just up here? It might be. Yeah, it is. Okay. I can't remember how I had to cheese it right now. You can't jump through the bottom of platforms at the moment here because the potted trees are all one mesh. And so it doesn't actually work. The reason that was happening is the camera is not allowed to be like have those fence poles, those flag poles in between Buzz and the camera, and so it tried like zooming on his place. That's an easy fix, but I'm not going to do it until I get new art. Yeah. I'd be curious to know if this is like the actual size of these guys, but they are definitely like much bigger. I'm not going to worry about that right now though. We do need to add Sergeant to the level as well. But first, why don't we go ahead and do we want to create Sergeant first so we can actually get the mission in, or create the fireworks when you get close enough to these guys? The thing is, I may actually have to make a custom version of collectible specific for the soldiers. I think I'm going to have to do that, which means I'm going to have to replace them all. That's fine. I'm like behind on chat. Sorry. New Bugs Life game. Just kidding. This reminds me in the Alleys and Goalies level where the clown top boss is there. There's a battery on top of the power generator that is possible to get. Yeah. The clown top boss, I think. Man, I really hate that level. Ugh. The whole level's bad. It's the worst level in the original game. Yeah. Yeah, you know, speaking of hearing both Metal Dad, let's just go ahead and disconnect the level song because I am playing other music. Spawn 2D sound for Andy's Neighborhood. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a pinpoint here and we're just going to bypass this for now. So it won't actually play the level music. Here's the collectible coin for the soldiers though. So what needs to happen is I need to create Sergeant. Sergeant needs to, I already have his dialogue in, but I don't think I have his mission structure set up yet. I need to set that up, and then whenever you collect 5 of these guys, 5 of them, you need to be able to, this needs to spawn in a correct location that's pick upable, and then that should complete the quest, which is all easy to do. We're gonna give these guys flares because I don't know if I'm gonna go ahead and at least place Sergeant. Yeah. Let's see, who's a character I can just steal, because characters don't matter as much if I take them from something else. Let's take Cam. Camera's too fast. Okay, and now we can take the skeletal mesh, we can change it to Sarge. And he looks basically the same, but that's okay. He'll start a dialogue as soon as you overlap him, so that should be yeah, Joshua and Aqua, yeah, they are technically flares, but they look like fireworks. Is how I've always thought they looked like. Yes, they are tiny in the original game as well. Joshua, like I'm pretty sure they go up to the size of like his kneecap at most, and maybe even just his like shin. I don't know. Yeah, I think the reason, so in the original game, as you got kind of close, they went off. But the reason for, oh man, I was moving this skeletal mesh. Cringe. Anyways, the reason that it was like when you got close is because the PS1, like there was a ton of pop in. And so like if you were picking up this guy, you wouldn't actually see him until you were like right here, and by this point you may already be turning, so they would shoot off a flare. That way they could make it less likely for you to bypass them. That's the whole reason why. It's because of the pop in, I think, which N64 did not have as bad a pop in. My camera's so fast, but it was still an issue. Okay, now we can go back to Sarge. Grab this, we'll pull him over. And we're going to grab the token because we don't want it to spawn on top of the player. So we're actually going to put it like right over here. Yeah, like something like that. And then pizza token, AN collection, should start as deactivated. That should be true. Yes. Should rotate. Okay, so all that's set correctly. AN collection, I think, is the correct name of the mission. The dialogue is AN. Sergeant AN. We can actually like take a look at this dialogue. Yeah, okay. Oh, no, it's the Bo Peep dialogue. I'll have to look up what he says exactly. So, that's all good. We'll have to... I need a drink. Yeah, the N64 allowed for fade-ins, which was a lot more noticeable on like the walls. But yeah, in the PS1 version, it was literally just straight up hardcore pop in. Let's go ahead and rename this as well, and we'll call it Sarge. So that's good. Is this dialogue workable? I'd have to change like actually a bunch of stuff. So is quest at state options, and we need this to be AN soldiers. And is it at quest start? Okay, so we're gonna set up this quest. Missions, quests, Andy's neighborhood, soldiers. Okay, so if it's at quest start, so the way this works is these gray ones are states of the quest. So when you start the quest, it's here. After you collect the soldiers, you're at this state. And then after you complete this task, you go to this state, which completes it. So it's actually pretty simple. In this game especially. But this can be used for RPGs or any kind of thing like that. And then we're going to change this state name to all collected because that's more reusable. So I don't have something else I have to change if I use like if I copy this over. It's kind of like quest start. In fact, we're going to get rid of quest state. Just call it all collected. And then quest state token collected. Yeah, that's fine, whatever. Help Bo Peep find her mission sheet. Help Sarge find his missing soldiers. See, this game's so easy. And it is looking for collect item of AN soldiers. And then collect the pizza token from Sarge. So we can compile that and save. And then with that, the quest should be correct. Sergeant, he should say this when the soldier quest is at quest start. Any conditions? Parties? No. Okay. And then on here, if the quests AN soldiers is at all collected, then we want to play this dialogue. And then if soldiers, does this have two? It does. And if this dialogue is not played, the dialogue node ID, which is this one, where's the node ID? This needs to be different. Sarge, I'm going to simplify this, just call it AN. Dialogue node NPC. We're going to, whoops, copy all of that, and we're going to reuse it for here. That way they have unique IDs. That'll be we don't want them to match the IDs of like other dialogue. Comes with the Buzz's waist. That's crazy. Yeah, he's not that tall at all. In actuality, I was looking at my camera. I think it's not set up right. I'm a little more zoomed in than normal. It's like really close to the bottom of my chin. I didn't fix it before I started streaming. I had to double check, but that's fine. Okay, so if this ID of dialogue has not played, we want to play this. And if it has played, then we want to go to this dialogue. And basically this tells you, hey, thanks, here's your pizza token, and this says thanks again, right? Is basically what it says. Oh, did the text go away? I think it did. We'll just add in some like generic text, but I'll have to double check this to make sure it's actually correct. But after this, we want to spawn a collectible under the argument collection in the level, which is what all this does. That's all fine. So this should spawn that token after we collect all 5. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to cheat because if we want to go to quest, I'm actually going to change this to require 1 soldier. Alright, quest started, find the missing soldiers. Ugh. And then, what's the quickest soldier to get? It's going to be this one. This little actually, it's not very easy to get the collectible stuff here. This one, I think it's this one. I think in the original game, by the way, this is like actually a slightly randomized puzzle, isn't it? I set it up to go in a specific order. In fact, I think if you get there and you don't ground pound fast enough, it skips that location. You don't get credit for it. And the stimuli starts going after you've did that mound. So it may require a slight redesign here to either be more like the... No. I also got respawning in, by the way. Although it really doesn't do anything other than like set you back. Like if you're if you're like halfway up the tree and you die, you start back at the bottom of the limbs. It's pretty forgiving. Oh, did it spawn? Yeah, he did. Good deal. And now we have 1 soldier, so we should be able to come over here. It did not work. Oh, their argument is... Okay. Here. ID... let's see. Help Sarge find the missing soldiers. Argument is AN soldiers. And so... Is that what these are? Make sure the argument's actually correct. AN underscore soldier. AN underscore soldier. Find collectibles. So that should work. Yeah, acted like it didn't. Find collectible item, a soldier. That should be ticked. And so if we go to dialogue, do I not start the quest as well? Let's see. Start incomplete quest, boss, race, soldiers. This should start the quest. So I'm a little bit lost. Zeth from J&Z Productions. Hello. I'm glad to have you here. Zeth is a homie. He's pretty cool. Also, thank you, Zeth. It's very nice of you to say. Is the quest... It said quest started, so it is actually starting. Let's see. Is quest at state? It's only 1. there. If the state is at all collected for the is quest A underscore soldier, quest A underscore soldier, and dialogue has not played, which is Sarge A. Oh, it's Sarge PAN. Oh no. Oh no. That would not cause the bug. I just don't like that. So if the quest is at quest start, then it starts there. So it didn't ever give me credit for collecting it, which means it's going to be an issue on the controller, the character controller. Because I have all of the pickups go to the player controller and like this like little bit of code here where it tells what to do with each type of collectible. So if it's collection type, we get the player character to make sure it's buzzed. That's all good. We get narrative on the player, and we find collectible and we set the collectible name. Get number of tasks, the time get number of times the task was completed, and we get the name. We get that and we update the text of the UI. So that updates to 1, so that should be good. So I actually don't know why it didn't work, like at all. We can also make them rotate, but we're not going to do that. Quest started. Hi buzz, help me find my 5 missing sheep. That's all fine. Okay. Where are all the collectibles? There's one over there, one in there. I'm missing one. Like I'm like not thinking of one, right? There's one in each yard. Oh, there's one right here. Duh. Okay, so that's one. And I should only require one to complete the quest. Well, quest update on hand. Oh, am I updating the wrong one? Bro. Surely not right. Yeah, no, I'm doing soldiers. Find collectible AN underscore soldiers. Let's just actually go here, copy, and click here again. Oh, I misspelled soldier, didn't I? Oh, what happened, buddy? There we go. Okay, so I just had the name wrong, but I think I actually misspelled it, so I need to correct this. The quest, the ham quest updating, that's because I set it to like 5 tokens or something to test it working, because I haven't set up his dialogue yet either. You found the sheep, Buzz. Thank you. Here's your planet token. Okay, so then it didn't spawn though, because that's also not set up in the right argument. So I had something misspelled. Okay, that's a super easy fix. It's always the same. Okay, I watched a streamer do it the other day, and it seemed like it was not working like he wanted. I don't know, but that works. Well, let's get all this stuff right. Is that how you spell soldier? It's not, right? Is it? now I'm like, it is, right? Save. Quest. We want to collect soldier. Save. And then in here we want to spawn the collection, which I think this actually has to be specific. It has to be AN_collection, right? What's this piece of it's this argument right here. So this argument is what I'm checking, and this tells me what quest to actually complete. And so I need to make sure it's actually set specific right there. Now this gets hard coded because the dialogue system, you can't store stuff as variables in like the world, and so you have to like actually get the correct actor from the world data, which is fine for this game because it's not like a massive open world game, which could cause issues. Okay, start it again. I also don't have save and load set up on this level because I should have to like technically delete my save file every time. I'm not collecting 5 tokens every time, am I? Or is it starting with that amount? It may be part of the save system. I don't know. The save system is like heavily in progress. And so, yeah, we're not going to deal with that too much. There it is. And then we complete the quest. Good deal. The dialogue is not set up correctly because it's not playing anything. We'll check that real quick because that should be an easy thing. First off, this should not be Bo Peep. The person's name should be Sarge. So we need to go to class defaults. The speakers is Sarge. So we can change all this to be Sarge saying it instead. Well, okay. That's not going to work. Okay, there. I had to basically add another speaker. So we have Sarge. This will matter if we're going to do like dynamic cutscenes. This can be used to find Sarge automatically for like the camera, so it can focus instantly and things like that. But we have Sarge that's looking for. That's all fine. We're not going to update like the class or anything like that. We don't want free movement. Okay. And I'll set up cutscenes later because that's like a whole thing. Hello, Aaron. Thanks for joining the stream. Okay, so you don't have to stomp the last one. Got it. I didn't play the full level. I need to sit down and do it because I've not played level 2 really full. I've not played it fully. So at least since the last time I played. But yeah. Just stands in the same spot. I could have, yeah, okay. Interesting. Anyways, we have this, and this is the ID. Oh, this is wrong, isn't it? Right. So first off, if the dialogue is played at least once, then this should play. And if the quest is that the state all collected or quest completed, that's a distinction as well. That's why it is happening actually. Okay. So we can actually just drag off of here, and we can add a. I have another speaker now. Delete that because I caused some shenanigans. Anyways, we're gonna go to conditions. We're gonna do is quest succeeded options, and if soldiers is complete, then we want to say we'll just say thanks again, Buzz. It'll be the same thing, nice and simple, but this time it will go to it. We don't need an if, else, or statement for that. So yeah. But cool. So now after you complete the quest, he should be willing to talk to you again. We'll double check that real quick. Okay, so I am just collecting 5 tokens every time. Funny enough. Oh, the quest didn't start because I already have it completed. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and it counts too, because since it saves if it completes the quest, technically. Because I do have it restart the quest from scratch, but I need to just delete that because I do keep track of how many soldiers you found. Anyways, this should not work though. Yeah. But I mean, the thing is we know that works, so I just need to actually start a fresh save. Which the easy way to do is just start from the menu and hit new game instead of continue. Anyways, so we have Sarge there, so now we need to make the soldiers actually shoot up, which we need a custom version of the soldiers. So I'm gonna have to replace them all, but that's fine. Collectibles, and that's not like the right kind of. Hold on, we're gonna change this. Viewport static mesh. We want a buzz token. Okay, what is the exact art updated to us TS2 art collectibles extra life pickup? That's what it's called. Okay. Yes, I'm gonna check that out. Does this update automatically? Good deal. Okay. That was still using like the original one, like by default, unless I change it by hand. Raz, to answer your question, I do not expect basically any chance of ever getting this approved for publishing, even if I was to seek that out. I don't think it aligns with like Disney or Activision's vision for their future. That's my assumption. So I wouldn't get your hopes up or anything like that. But cool. I would love to, but not gonna happen probably. Okay, so we have that. Let's change the requirement back to 5 before I forget. So we want to have 5 soldiers collected to complete the task. That's good. And now let's go back to creating a child collectible. Okay, so we have that, and then I need a child of the base collectible. Collectible underscore collection. Yeah. Okay, and then for this, we actually don't want a static mesh typically. So we're gonna hit hide in game. Oh, hidden in game, that's what it is. Hidden in game. So we can't see it. And we also want to turn, oh, collision should be already off for this, right? Yeah, no collision. Good deal. Now we want a skeletal mesh. And this is like an actual like body for like a character or something. We'll just select basic soldier as a default. Sphere, we'll go like, oh, this should be 50. And this should be 60. I think I had that backwards. I did. Okay, so now we have this. I also need a, well, this is for a soldier specifically. So this just needs like its basic detail setup. So we're gonna set collection, and we're gonna call it underscore collection. We don't want it to rotate. Was there, what is the other variable? Oh, yeah, it's not actually a thing. Because this is, well, it's AN soldiers, and so actually underscore collection is not right. Whoops. So we'll actually just set the argument blank. That way I know for sure there's no, nothing that can forget it. So yeah. With that, I want one more child of this. And we're going to create a child blueprint of that. And we're going to call it soldier. Now, this will be used for anytime we have any kind of actual collection collectible. But we're going to use this one specifically for soldiers, which gets all of its like data from that. Because we actually want to like add more to this. So we want to add a sphere collision. We want this to be a child of the static mesh. We'll say like or like, I don't know, like 300 or something. We'll put about the center. That should be fine. We're going to rename it as well to sphere trigger underscore flare. You know what? Actually, the sphere triggers could be activated for all kinds of things. Okay. Hold on. Let's actually delete that. Go back to collection. We're going to just add it here. And instead of flare, we're just going to call it sphere trigger overlap. Now, what we need to do is then we're going to implement an interface on all of our collectibles soon. You know what we're going to do first, though? We're just going to, like, hard code this. Are we going to cheat? I think we're going to cheat. But yeah, let's do it. So on I was adding an interface, right? What is it called? Interface, and it's for interface player capsule trigger. So now on the player capsule trigger overlaps. Well, this is going to check if it overlaps, not just being close, like the one that I actually pick up, but all of it. Can I like add more info, like add more to this interface? I think I'm going to actually check exactly which trigger it overlaps with. I think that makes sense. You know what? Oh, okay. Okay, we need to update this interface. I'm like a little bit scatterbrained today, like more so than usual. Do we have an interface? We don't, do we? It's not in characters, right? No. Player capsule trigger. Okay, and we need buzz, and we need component. What would it be? An actor component is a reusable component that can be added to any actor, whereas there's different ways to reference a component using if actor is specified. Okay, how about this? We're not going to save that yet. Let's go to our actual character. Ground trigger interface, capsule component, and if the other component is a primitive. Okay. So it is a primitive component object reference. Primitive component object reference. Okay. And overlapped component. We can save that. We just want to check it out on the server. We bring this over. Other component should be able to connect right there. Good deal. So now I can verify that it's actually overlapping the trigger I want. And then we also want to do that for end overlap as well. Buzz, and then this should be plugged in as that variable. Great. Okay. There's like a lot actually to get this working. A little more than I expected. Okay. So we want to make sure that this is equal to this. And if it is, we also want to create a timer for this guy, don't we? So there's like a lot of variables to keep track of. time since last flare. Good. This should be a float. And then total wait time for flares. And we're going to compile, we're going to call this like 10 total seconds between each flare, assuming you're close enough. And then we want to count down when one shoots to make sure it doesn't tick off again if you exit and enter the trigger. Okay, we're also going to start this at like, we're going to just mark it at 10, but actually the thing you want to do is you want to set this to whatever total time for wait is on start. So basically as soon as the scene starts, it sets this to not 0. So if this is true, and if we do overlap buzz, then we want to, I probably need a Niagara particle system. We'll just call it flare. We'll just attach it to the scene, that's fine. And then we need a Niagara effect. So is there like a simple spark? Do I have any particle effects that would like be decent for this? I might or might not. Sci-fi particle effect system, Niagara. Environment impact. I mean, none of these really work. Explosions. Tornado. This is an asset pack, by the way, because particle effects are notoriously like very difficult to make, and I'm not quite that talented. There's an impact laser. What does this look like? Oh, it's like way up there. I lost it. Okay. It's too hard to see. Impact laser, import sound. So not impact. There's a whole laser section. Okay, yeah. Muzzle flash isn't really what we're looking for, right? That's for like when you fire a weapon and it shows like a particle effect at the end of your gun. Portals, no, those are going to be what we're looking for. Shield, no. This okay. What do these shoot look like? Like, you really can't see them on this like visual. It's like, oh, it's like way up there, bro. What, like, is it random? Okay, let's try this one again, but that's not what we're looking for. So we'll leave grad 4 open. Let's check grad 5. Oh, this one I think is like at an arc. Is this the one I'm thinking of? If so, I've seen this one before. Yeah. But the thing is that arc is like hard coded in, so I actually can't just use that, which is quite silly. So we may use grad 4. Smoke and steam is not really going to be anything we want. In sparks, this like covers the whole screen, which is not what we want, obviously. Although it would be cool for some scenes. There's like stuff like this. I can change some colors, but this is a bit chaotic, right? Oh, you know what? That's like not the furthest from. It doesn't look like a flare. It looks like actual fireworks, but like let's see. Is this like continuous? That one's bad. It's like actual like continuous sparks, like electricity. What is this? Okay, we're gonna go with like Sparks 28 or Grad 4. So let's go back to Soldier. Fires and missiles. There was a very funny video I watched. These couple guys who were doing like a race in Toy Story 2, the game, and one guy was like calling Star Command, like pretending to call Star Command and like roasting Star Command. It was funny. That's what you just reminded me of. What are their names? What was that channel name? Hold on. My camera may be frozen right now for a second. These guys right here. These guys are kind of funny. They basically, it's two guys who like play games together. They have like a versus series where they like race beside each other. They have an OT where like one person like talks to the other person as one person plays. And then they have a one-off, which is where one of them plays something by themselves. But they're doing Toy Story 2, and it's like pretty funny. So good job, guys. Anyways, what did I choose? I didn't, right? Okay, flare, and we'll go with Sparks 28. I need to find a better particle system instead of like just one, because I use this particle system too much, and it doesn't fit all my needs. So I'm just, yeah. So if total or if time since last flare is less than or equal to 0, we'll create an if-else statement here. Then we want to set time since flare to whatever the total wait time is. So this basically resets the timer. And then we want to activate particle effect. Is it play? What is it called? It's on here. First off, we don't want this to be active at start. Auto activate, we want it to be off. It's called activate. Activate flare. Okay, so that's fine. Just Unreal Engine shenanigans. We want to reset it. And then in tick, we're just going to create a Boolean for flare active. And this should be false at first. We want this to be set to true here because we want the flare to actually be activated. Are you talking about the YouTubers I showed a minute ago? They're aware of this project. Yeah, I had a brief like chat with them in the comment section on like one of their videos. 'Cause I left a comment and they recognized me. But yeah, which actually happens like a bit more than I would have expected. Like getting recognized in like other people's videos. That's always interesting. But yeah, I don't know if it's because like they themselves watch my video directly or like they saw like streamers stream it possibly. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It is certainly curious behavior, right? But yeah. But we activate the flare, and then in tick, if the flare is active. So here we want to check is if we have the flare going, then we want to set time since last flare to subtract, and this should also be time since last flare. So we want to get the total start time of this, which may be like 10 seconds. We want to subtract delta time from it, and then return that to set this new time since last flare. And then if this is less than or equal to 0, then we want to create a branch again, and here we should set flare active back to false. So the way this works is basically delta time is the time since the last frame, and so we can get that to get a consistent countdown time. So let's say we have this set at 10 seconds and it's been like 0.2, that's extremely slow, right? But let's say it's been like 0.05 seconds since the last frame. Then it will subtract 0.05 from 10, making it 9.95 seconds remaining. Anyway, so we do all this, and then it's basically a countdown timer because tick runs every single frame. I don't know if this will work because I have not tried that, but let's just see. First off, let's go. Oh, we have to place the soldiers again. Okay. Oh, you know what? I don't want to place that guy there. I want to place him like over here. I need the 300 size sphere to be much larger though, because you have to get pretty close for it to activate at all. So it's collection and soldier. Let's copy this, put him here, and then we can delete this guy. Now let's edit this again because that 300 size sphere is not gonna do it. We're gonna go up to like 1,000. Something else you can do is you can check like while we're inside of the sphere, then every 10 seconds it'll continue to go off. Let's see how big this is. That's probably good, right? It may even be slightly bigger than that we want to go. I don't know. It may also depend on which specific one it is, because this guy here, like you have to pick him up to go up the tree, and so he doesn't need as wide of a range, right? Anyways, let's copy this and bring it down. All right, we want to put these guys inside of the soldiers subfolder. This guy's going to go in the laundry. Once we place all 5 of these guys, at that point we will verify that the spark's invoked by walking into these giant triggers. So he can come like way over here. Bring him up here and slightly across and up. He can float a little. These textures, I'm guessing I grabbed the low LOD version because they're supposed to at least be slightly designed. So that's just kind of funny. Dirtmound 7 needs a reference to this. Got it. So that basically means that this guy was referencing this. So collectible to spawn, and we want to grab this and click on him. So now that should know that that's the guy we want to set to a different location. We are also going to open blueprint editor. Oh, scene position spawn. That's like an actual thing, right? Okay. So we can just also bring this down to like right there. Okay. Oh no! No! Thank you, CL. You subbed right on a crash. Okay, so I broke something by adding that new data to be tracked on collectibles. That was like a hardcore crash too. Okay, let's go back to the level. Okay, so don't pick up any coins in case it just breaks the game again. We'll bypass all the coins and just try and get a soldier. After we pick up a soldier and we see that the flare, or at least look at a soldier and see that the flare works. Let's see. Does it go off? It did not. That's pretty awkward. Did it crash again? Wow, I have no idea what caused that crash. Okay. I could have sworn I broke something, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I need to update Ham's quest. Oh, no, I was going to check the dialogue before I did that. Okay. So the Niagara system is not playing. When the Niagara being like particle effects. So when Buzz walks in range, it should play the particle effect, and it's not. Oh, almost fell. Oh, I gotta stop playing off the OBS preview screen because it just makes it a lot harder. Get this in case I fall. We're gonna go above this so I can see like when I walk into the trigger. Yeah, it's not playing. Okay. The easiest thing to do first is... oh man, I lost all my stuff that was open. That's so sad. Event overlap player capsule. And if it is the sphere trigger overlap, Then, oh, you know what? It's collectibles that because hold on. What is? It's probably the base collectible, right? Blueprints, collectibles. Again, collectibles. So on. Okay, so this actually already checks it correctly. Okay, so it's actually not what I thought. This is not the optimal way to check this now. With casting, I actually have a new way to do that with interfaces, but I've not added. Oh, the alert's way over here. Like on my complete other like monitor. Okay. Okay. Here's what we'll do. It may be Niagara system. Allow scalability. Yeah, I guess. That's fine. We'll auto activate. And then also, does it loop? For solo. Visible. Yeah, okay. How do you turn off a loop, though? There's a way to do it, but... lighting channels... What is this for solo? That's not what we want. Okay. So, is this like running at runtime? I cannot see it because it's possible I may be able to see it in engine, but not actually like at runtime. Oh yeah, it's going. Oh, that's extremely visible. Okay, yeah. But it should only fire once. But the most important thing is, why is it not activating immediately? So let's turn back off auto activate. Go away. Oh, I'm searching for something. Auto activate is off. And then override warm up settings, random seat offset. We don't want warm up. Do I have to set loop? No. Sometimes you have to set stuff that's not over here visible. Do you have to set it on here? That's snapping, right? Yeah. It is 10 seconds. That's crazy. Dude, that's nuts. That's way too long. What if I just like hippity hoppity this over like to something like that, right? Probably be a problem. Okay, we'll go with that. Checkout selected. Now, is it looping? I should be able to see this like pretty easily. Activate. Okay. Is it just play? It may, instead of activate, it may just be play. Play flare. What is the what is something that have particle effects on? I have it on 10 robot. Okay, let's just look at that. Let's see how I did on him because I don't remember. AI enemies, 10 robot. He has Niagara system for smoke. If we go to event graph, it should be on death. Oh, reset. Whether this activation should happen, even if should activate returns false. So it should activate false on the other guy. But it is just activate. And it is a Niagara particle system, which this guy is also a Niagara particle system. Let's just turn off reset and like see if that's like the whole problem. There's a good chance it is. I still didn't see it. There's a chance that my trigger just isn't working correctly. So we'll print a string. Oh, no. And we want to pass this in. CL, that's a very kind words. Thank you. Yeah, it's not a Boolean because it should just be an activate and then I may have to deactivate it kind of thing. So that is true. So it is. So then we want to set the time since last flare. So if the time since the last flare is less than, oh no, okay, we want this to be 0 at first. Okay, so that was the problem. Is I was setting it to the max amount, ready for countdown, but it was not actually in the countdown state. It should work perfectly now. I'm betting money on it, but it may loop. Yeah, it is looping, but you know, and I could probably do it from a little bit further away as well. So that's good. And on the particle effect, can I just like drag this to like 10 seconds like it had it actually? Zoom in so I can actually see what I'm doing. I don't want it to shoot multiple times though. Like I only want it to shoot like when it loop behavior. Oh, I can just do this once. Okay. Whoa. Once. Okay. Is this... I'll do it more than once? It's going to because this actual particle effect is looping, right? And what happens if I deactivate it immediately, though? Like if I deactivate the next frame? Yeah, there's actually a lot of epiphanies in this kind of stuff where you're like, oh, I know why it's not working. Man, my hair's crazy. It just happens sometimes. Anyways, what happens if we wait? We're going to delay for like 1 second. Even though it should not be that. I just want to have a second to make sure that it actually works. Deactivate. And we're going to see if this will prevent a loop but let it finish the particle effect that's already going. I think that's how it works. I kind of wish I could start out closer to 1, but I don't want to like move them since I already placed them in the environment. I did go to university for this. I went to Full Sail University, which is an okay program. Too expensive. Everything that you need for game development, you can just learn online, to be fair. The thing about school is that it organizes everything in in an optimal format for learning. So like, you know, which can be helpful. And it also helps you secure a job if you're looking for an actual job. With that said, you can just like learn all this by making projects yourself, and so I don't know if I would recommend it, especially for indie devs. I would actually 100% not recommend it. You can learn way faster by doing your own projects. Yeah, Full Sail. I mean, I liked the school. It was nice. I graduated as valedictorian the year I went. When I went, that was fun. So we're gonna set this delay. We're gonna get rid of it, and we're going to delay until next tick, and then go. Because what this will prevent is if we exit the trigger and re-enter before the delay is done, it could cause shenanigans where it like starts and restarts and stops like out of order, and could cause issues. So we're just gonna set it for the next frame, which will give it time to shoot, but not do a loop. I may need to do also more than a single frame. Okay, so the particle effects need time to actually fire. So we're gonna change this back to a delay, and we'll just do 0.2. That should be small enough. Let's see if it's enough to actually invoke the particle effects firing. And also, none of this is like actually set. Like it could be different in the build, which is always a fun situation when something is build specific, but not how it works in the editor. Oh no! Did that act crazy? It did act a little crazy. Okay. We're going to have to add a little bit of a delay here. Hopefully it doesn't cause issues. That's fine for now. And I'll see if I can figure out a better way to do that. But we got those guys basically working. For a small time in their animation program. Yeah. I mean, GameMaker makes good games, but it's not industry standard. Industry standard is going to be Unity and Unreal Engine, and then some custom stuff. Even Godot is not industry standard because it's okay for 2D, but like also it's not even fully developed for 2D yet. Like Godot gets a lot of praise, and it is open source, which helps a lot on its fast-paced development. It's a lot like Blender, but it's not ready for like full-scale development of like a large project. You can use it for indie games, but if you go anything above indie level, I think you're going to have problems working inside of Godot. So that's why I haven't used it yet. I've thought about learning it for like a video and like making something inside of a video, specific. Make a game inside of Godot specific for one single video, but yeah. Yeah, and one of the best ways to learn Metal Dad though is to like on YouTube just like make a game. When you run into a problem, Google that and YouTube that a lot, and like taking a lot of info like that. And that's how I learn now. And so I just like work on something. If I have don't know how it's going to be done or need like some assistance on it, then I will YouTube it. Although it doesn't happen like a whole lot at this point, but like it doesn't happen a whole lot unexpectedly. I should say that. There are like times where I'm working on like a big like feature, and I'll look ahead of time. Quitting it is not decided yet. Twisted Metals, I say metals because I don't know which one. Maybe 4. That would be like really fun to do, but we don't know. It is Kyle's decision too, because Kyle is with me again for whatever our next project is, and so whatever game he wants to do art for is going to be a big decider. Because if I choose something, I'm like, hey, this is what's happening, you can get over it. Then Kyle would leave, and quite fairly, and so because like yeah, he does like receive like part of the money from these videos, right? But like he's basically a partner, and so yeah. I wouldn't consider him like an employee or anything. He is like an actual like part. It's like a partnership between him and I. So where to find the artist for the game? Around episode 3 of the game being out, I got a message on Discord from Kyle, and he's like, hey, I want to make some stuff. And I looked at his portfolio, and I was shocked by how good it looked. I have had a ton of people volunteer for the project. Most of them don't work out for one reason or another. Sometimes I'm just too busy to actually take on another person, because the more people I bring on, the more production tasks I have, which means the less development tasks I can do. Production tasks are basically like setting up, tasking for everyone, and setting up timelines and goals and detailed plans of what's next and things like that. And it gets pretty time consuming pretty quickly as you have a bunch of people. All right, so we have the soldiers. Those are good enough. We're going to roll with that. So next, what was the next thing we were going to work on? We were going to work on the splat. It's already 11 o'clock. That's crazy. I worked on those guys way longer than I meant to, but also I did set up this mission, which I did not have at all. Yeah, it's fun. It has some issues, though, that I want to correct. Like the camera is obviously the least optimal part of the game, right? And so that was like my first big fix to make. And it's still not perfect, because you get like it like trying to fight with like all these like objects in the scene and stuff. And so it's a lot of work, because some stuff you don't want the camera to be interacted by. Like, if we look at these, these poles, right? They're not, not the best example, but like this should, just go around it. They're not actually important enough to actually block the camera. Like you should just be able to see around it. And so you have to do that for like a bunch of stuff in the scene, right? And so it's not super time consuming to fix. It's just a lot of those to do. But I mean, for that, it should just be, it's probably collision. I don't remember the exact thing. I think it's collision presets. You set custom, and then you turn off camera. I'll just see if this works. And now, assuming this is the right thing of how you do it, the camera should not be blocked by this. Yeah. Which I guess you could be like really close and it cause problems, right? But in general, yeah, like something small like this, you should just be able to have in the foreground. And that's like a super easy way to fix. There's also like more like dynamic ways to fix this that look really impressive. But yeah, the big thing was like the camera first, which just adding dual stick camera movement alone made it much easier to use. Those messages that keep popping up are for the racing manager, because I have the racing manager in the scene, but the race is not actually set up, and so it's mad at me for not setting that up yet. If you're curious. Okay. I said we're going to do the sludge on the trees, but I really want to fix these guys first. So we're going to open up the blueprint editor. Now what's going on here is when the enemy dies, he spawns into a bunch of little pieces. And so basically we want to limit how many of those pieces spawn because they get trapped inside of each other, because there's 16 small pieces of these characters. Let me show you an example of what I mean. And I can also like translate this across all of the enemies. But when I break them, you see like he breaks into a bunch of small pieces, but there's so many that they get trapped inside each other. Also, these guys need like their physics turned on and stuff. But and if you want an example of how it looks like when it's working, let's go to level 1. So there you go. See, it breaks into a bunch of small pieces. It's like manageable. I need to make them, lower weight. That way you can actually push the pieces around a little bit better. Because right now, like, Buzz really wants to get trapped on everything. I really love their respawn. He was a little. I need to make him always face you, I suppose. Oh, the red guy spawned out of bounds. But we can watch him. And that's how the enemy respawn works. But you can see like the pieces break apart and everything. We need to add that to the cars. The cars have that actually, but I need to limit how many of those pieces spawn for one. And I need to randomize it. So let's go to, we're on this level. Let's go back to Zerg car. And then enemy has died. And can we rearrange this list? Is that a thing? Because that would be like a really easy way to do it. Is it random array item? I want to randomize. Here, let me do a Google search on this real quick. Shuffle. That's what it's called. What's shuffle from? Like shuffle from stream. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't care about that. Shuffle. And then we want to loop, but we only want to get like the first 6 pieces. And that will probably be how that works. I need to clean this like up a little bit. This is a little crazy. In fact, actually, you have to have 4 each loop, but it needs to be a 4 each loop with a break. Because what does a 4 loop look like? Okay. This may be better, actual 4 loop. So we have that. We're gonna set the last index to a variable, and we're gonna call, or yeah, to an integer variable, and we're gonna call this max pieces to spawn. We're going to set this to 6 right now. I can close this window so I can see chat again. Let's see. And then, now that we have that, this should only run 6 times no matter how many meshes are inside of this. So, completed needs to come back down here. Loop body needs to go there. This can be here, but... we need to go back to mesh pieces. Oh, but I have to get a reference and a copy, right? What do we do inside here? We just spawn it. We spawn a version of, okay, yeah, we can get a reference. Or get a copy, I mean. Get copy of the current index and bring that right there. And that actually should be everything to get it converted from a 4 each loop to a 4 loop. Funny enough. So we'll test that in a second. The penthouse level, that's the best level, by the way. Al's penthouse, I love it. The theme is in the sound, man, what is it called? The song from the game from that level is in every single one of my videos. I absolutely love it. You like the respawning robots? Larry, thank you. Yeah, I'm back. I was off last week because the rest of the family was busy and I had to watch the littlest boy. But yeah, I'm back right now. I tried actually multi-streaming to Twitch. But it did not work. And so that's going to be a continued thing where I try and see if I can get that working. For whatever reason, it did not. Mad, the broken pieces can collide with each other. Right now, they're actual physics objects, and I want you to be able to push them. There's some like shenanigans with that where I need to actually like set their weight a little bit lower so they are more easier to push, but also maybe I just add a force to them, like if Buzz walks into it, it like kicks it kind of deal. But the issue with the cars is that they all spawn in the same spot. They're large pieces, and there's a lot of them. So it looks kind of crazy, right? And so now, theoretically, let's see if it works. This should only spawn 6 pieces when the car enemy dies. Well, that is more than 6 pieces. In fact, it spawned the same one 3 times. Oh, wait, no. Ah! Well, that time it didn't. It's still a little crazy. I may need to increase the the force of these ones, as well as lower their gravity. Oh, I wonder if those pieces. Okay. Well, no, because it's a blueprint, and so that shouldn't matter. Random float in range. This is where we add force. We're going to add more. It'll probably be way too crazy, because 1200 is an okay amount. I'm trying to remember what my jump is. I think my jump is like 700 or 800. I wonder if these have complex or simple collision as well. Let's see if that's possibly the issue. Let's go to, because it wasn't what I thought it was. There's also other things where I can like spawn them away from each other, but I think the big issue is just this guy is like big pieces, and that's like a big contributor to this. We're gonna go to art, skeletal meshes, enemies, Zerg cars, new, meshes, and parts. And then we're going to edit selection via property matrix. This edits all of them at once. And so here I can search for collision complexity. See, they're not all complex. So use complex collision. Base bumper, green button, grill, all that, yeah. Let's see if this works. I don't know how many of them actually. We're using complex or simple collision. Man, these guys, like, I wonder if it's just because they're so large that everything gets stuck inside each other, but it does not budge. Whoops. I'm pretty sure I may have deactivated. I did at one point have it to where buzz causes actual force on a ground pound. Did I just turn that off? Oh, it's not there. It should be on landed. If you're ground pounding, we want to ground pound. That's where that is. So inside of here, and then fire impulse. It's deactivated. But if I activate this, what am I working on right now? We replaced the collectibles in the scene from sheep to the actual soldiers, and then set up the soldier mission here. So now I'm actually making it so these pieces, these cars, when they die, they explode into a bunch of pieces. But they explode into A, too many pieces, so I set a limit on how many can actually generate. And then B, they're not moving. And like even like my ground pound impulse is like doing nothing to them. Okay. Huh. I may have to. It'd be real. I don't know. I think the pieces are probably too large. Okay, this may require me to do more off stream for that specifically. So I think we're gonna bypass that for now. Yeah. Okay, we'll come back. I'll at least come back to that. I don't know if that's something that needs to be done off stream because there's a bit more physics work to do on that, and that's not really something I can do on stream and pay attention. Okay, so next we're actually going to drop. We're going to start creating those like chemical droplets that happen in underneath this tree. Like while you're racing RC through the area, there'll be like droplets of chemical ooze that drop down and like hit the path and all that. So we need to add those. So we need to make the feature for that for one, and then we need to actually add them to the level. So that's fine. Another thing I'll have to do sooner than later is actually add like a lot more enemies to this level as well, because there's a bunch of cars that actually hang out in this area, and I think one or maybe two that hang out in this area as well. And there's some flying robots that are in the tree. I'll add all that later. First, let's make our chemical ooze blueprint. Let's close art, go to blueprint. We're gonna go for I'll go level mechanics because I don't think this happens in any other level, or at least not one that I can think of. We're gonna call it BP underscore chemical droplet. So we add here, we're going to create a it could also spawn actors and delete them. Thank you. Is it George? Thank you. I appreciate that. I think we're just going to reference them right now and like reset their position. Because the way it could work is they could be single droplets, or it could be a manager that handles like a bunch of droplet locations at once. I think we're just going to have like one at a time. Or make it handle one at a time. That's easier to place like all over the map. We're gonna go actor static mesh. Okay, we're gonna call this droplet, and then we're gonna create a static mesh, and we're gonna call this spill. Ooh, actually, you know what? Does it need to be a liquid spill or not? I don't know. I don't want that attached to the droplet though, because the droplet needs to go from a set height down to the ground. And when it hits the ground, it needs to set some kind of like particle effect for like liquid shooting off, which we may or may not have access to, something like that. And then I'm like really tired. And then we need to spawn in the spill. The spill will always be will always be in the same position. And then we'll just turn it on and off as needed. Do we want to do that? The thing is, I think we actually just reference one in the scene. That way I can have it be like an actual liquid spill. Because I can't add... Yeah. It has to be turned to a component, which I'm not going to do. So here in variables, we're going to call this... liquid spill, and we're going to reference oh my jeez, I need caffeine. All right, so I have a reference to liquid spill. The droplet is going to be just right now a sphere because there's no like droplet, right? Yeah, okay. We'll just make it a sphere. And then the material will be, is it ooze? Good deal. That will work. We have these guys. I could have Kyle model me a droplet if I need. No problem, Aiden. It's fun for us to work on. I'm just glad you like it. And now, we want this to be a trigger. So not block all, but overlap all. Overlap all dynamic. And then character step on, no. We don't want it to be like anything that has like actual collision necessarily. Ugh. Okay, let's place one of these in the scene. And then we also want a chemical spill. Basic interactables. Oh, common mechanics. Liquid spill. We want it to be damage. The damage from the spill, I don't know, like 3 or something. I don't remember how much health Buzz has. And we're going to call it ooze. And then on the spill mesh, we're actually going to call we'll call it that, and we'll make this like point to. Oh. Okay, 0.15 and then 0.15. That should be good enough for a splat of this stuff. The material needs to be basement, what's it called? Chemical spill. We're going to see how this looks in this level too. Although the chemical spill should almost be like a malleable mesh to go around. I'm not going to do all that. Oh, you know what? I didn't want to update the position of that. The liquid spill needs to be adjusted. Okay. That's there. So we're going to do chemical droplet. And the chemical droplet can be like right here in the sky, right? Okay, then we're gonna go all the way up. Good deal. And then we can take the liquid spill and take it all the way down. Okay, so this needs to be like on the ground. Okay, that should be good. And now we just need to take this actual droplet and drop it from the sky. Actually, hold on. 2770 up to, so 30. Okay. So now we need to make the actual droplet drop to the sky and then activate this for a time period. And then that can shrink as well. So this is going to be actually kind of a fun thing. We're just going to make it appear and disappear because that's super easy to do at first. And if we want to like shrink it to show that it's done, we can do that shortly. I can't stop yawning. First off, we want a time between drops, and this needs to be a float. Then we need a, we're going to do start scale of spill. This will be a vector 3, which is 3 floats used for position and scale. Sometimes rotation, although rotations are technically done with rotators or quaternions, but that's a whole thing. We're not going to deal with that. I don't think we need that. We're just going to roll with this right now. So on begin play, we want to create let's see, a custom event. Add a custom event. We'll call it drop chemical. And here we're going to take this simulate physics. That's what it's called. Set simulate physics to simulate. And then we're going to add like a debug key here. So we'll do the J key. Sure. Let's just see what happens when we do this. Okay, let's make sure that it doesn't drop ahead of that time. Okay, it's because it's not on the controller, so debug keys don't work there. That's fine. We're going to do a 3-second delay and then do a drop. I just want to see if this works, like more than anything. Kyle and I were talking about that, Aqua. Again, we don't know. Of course, it's always the cop-out that the story's told by Rex, and so... Oh, I wasn't watching because I was distracted. So like everything's kind of a cop out. If you want like a better reason, that works. You could say that it's because maybe they're doing work up here, and so you could have a stack of like wooden planks on the side here, as well as like paint tipped over, and you could have like the paint dripping from here, and those are the actual chemicals. So it'd be like level 1, but I don't know. Yeah, it's weird for sure. Regardless, let's pull this back in here. We're gonna see if it drops through the tree. Yeah, okay. So, drop chemical does work. But if drop chemical... Oh, we need the start position. Oh, no, we have the start position 0, right? Every time? Yeah. On component begin overlap, the droplet, if the other actor is equal to BP underscore buzz, oh, that's not going to work because we'll have to confirm. Okay. Again, we'll have to add the interface. Add interface underscore player capsule trigger. Yeah, we'll do that. And then on overlap, if the overlap component is equal to droplet, so let's make sure that buzz actually overlaps with what we want it to. Then we want to apply damage to buzz. Float damage is going to be how much damage is done. We also need a custom event for reset chemical drop. After applied damage, we want to reset the chemical drop. But this is all that. Oh, we also want to make it disappear, right? Or do we want to do that on? We'll do it on reset. Okay, so damage should be like 4 or 5 or something like that. Again, I don't know how much health Buzz has at the moment, and I'm not going to look it up yet. On start, though, the liquid spill damage should be whatever I set the droplet to, I'm going to say, to make sure they're consistent. Okay, so now it'll apply damage, it'll reset, and here we want to first get the droplet, set hidden in game. We do want it hidden. We want to deactivate physics on it. So set simulate physics to false. We're then going to reset its position. Set location. Set world location, and the world location is going to be whatever this object's location is. Get actor location. And that should be enough to completely get it back to its natural state, and then we want to add a timer, or we can do a timeline with this, which is super simple. Add timeline, so TL underscore wait for next drop. Also, we do need to see if this is not equal to buzz, like if it doesn't hit buzz, if it hits something else. We're gonna go the length, drop it every like 5 seconds. I think that makes sense. Yeah, we're not gonna go call that anything too crazy. New track. Anyways, when it's finished, we then want to drop chemical. So these are gonna loop into each other, but it's only gonna happen like every like 5 seconds, right? But if it doesn't hit the player capsule, if it just hits the ground or something else that's not the tree, then we want to do, or we could just do like max drop distance, right? Yeah, we could do that. The Cannons and Al's penthouse. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say those are toys, and because he's a toy collector / reseller, and they come alive and they just cause chaos. I don't know. There just needs to be a party invite on the fridge for Neighborhood Slime Party. Yeah, we're going to go to droplet. We're going to add an overlap. This is for if it's not the player overlapping. Because the easiest way to check for the player overlapping is that interface that I made here. And so next we're going to grab this. And we're going to check if the other actor is something that's allowed to be hit. So we can actually do implement interface if it's an enemy. We don't want it to do anything, right? Yeah. Yeah. I think that's right. We need to check to see. Oh, we can check tag ground. Or layer. Get tag. Is it tags or layers? What is it called on this game? I don't want the foliage. I want the ground underneath it. I don't want the foliage. There. Let's see. Should be all the way at the bottom, right? Is it tags? It is tags. Okay. Tag ground. We'll roll with that. So if the other actor get tags, we're going to do a for each loop with a break. If tag is equal to ground branch, we want to activate. Oh, we also need to activate the actual liquid spill. So I need to make a custom event for that to deactivate them, I guess, and then activate them. That should be fine. That will be easy to do. Let's do that now. Here. Open blueprint. Edit at blue. I said it weird. Custom event. Activate spill. Oh, I need a custom. Deactivate spill. Okay. So we now have two functions here I can call. So on the chemical droplet, if it collides with the ground, we want to get our liquid spill reference, and we want to activate spill. And then we want to reset chemical drop. And also on this, after drop chemical, we want to get our get liquid spill, and we want to then deactivate the spill. Good deal. This one's a little bit more complicated than what we did the other day, but that's okay. Now, these should activate and deactivate technically, but we need to add that functionality to the actual liquid spill, which is basically just spill mesh needs to have its set collision enabled to no collision on deactivate spell. And here we want just collision enabled, I guess. And then after, what else do we need? Hidden in game. Okay. We also need to make sure that the spill is deactivated at first, right? Did I already do that? I did not. Not set, I want to get. I really need like a good spot to watch this. It's not happening, is it? No bugs related to that. Why is a switch to destroy them? Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Is it not colliding with the ground, possibly? Okay, here we are going to cheat this a little. Player start. Whoop. Am I facing the right way? Oh, I need to set drop chemical. Deactivate spill did not work. Here. reset chemical drop. We'll just start that from the beginning, which sets the droplet hidden in game and deactivates physics. So what we'll do is we'll actually, yeah, okay, that's right. We'll wait for the next drop, and then they'll drop the chemicals. Let's see if this works. It's not dropping, is it? Interestingly. Make sure I didn't miss it. Yeah, so it's not... oh, I need to play from start. I don't know if that's the issue. I don't think it is, but that is an important thing to do. So we reset chemical drop, so the chemical gets deactivated, and we turn off its physics, which is fine. We set its world location. At drop spill again. Oh, we just simulate the physics. Okay. So we also need to set it visible again. Set visible. Set hidden in game. And we do not want it hidden. And we're also going to reset its world location again a second time. That's not what I wanted. No, not. Oh my goodness. Activate chemical spill is not on here anywhere, is it? Oh, it's right there. Okay. So activate, we set collision enabled, and it's not hidden. Deactivate, it should hide it, but for some reason it doesn't do it on start, right? Just because, yeah, you're probably right. Let's see. Is that something you just add? Yeah. Retriggerable delay. Because I didn't do it. That's all reason. I'll swap that out actually in a moment. Ooh. Actually, we'll just do it now. And we'll do like every 5 seconds, just because that's a good testing number. Splat. The reset doesn't really work though, does it? Also, this is not being hidden on start. Let's see. So we set this hidden and we turn off simulate physics, which makes sense. We reset its world location, which may or not be true. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab the chemical droplet and we're going to bring it back in view. Okay. On reset chemical drop, and on drop chemical, we stop hiding it. This is like a really easy thing. I don't know why it's not working. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cheat with like some craziness. Get hidden in game. We're going to print string and put that there. And now we're going to have a big line of text on the left side that tells us if it's hidden or not. So false now. So it never resets back to true for one. So we know that it's not like a position thing. Oh, does it destroy? No, it doesn't destroy after causing damage. Reset chemical drop. Reset. Okay. Oh, you know what? It actually never deactivates. So drop chemical, simulate physics. Does it have overlap? Can generate overlap events. Character not step off, but it is overlap all dynamic. So when it hits the ground with the tag ground, is that what it's called? It may also be hitting the liquid spill. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to set that to tag ground as well, as like a super easy fix. Because the only thing that uses the ground tag on an object, whoops. But it should still hit the ground, just, you know, let's see. Wow, that was an issue. Okay, now the liquid spill isn't actually working like that. And so, liquid spill, activate spill, because the spill mesh, it activates and deactivates its collision as needed, and it sets hidden in game. Oh man, I know why that doesn't work. I didn't actually reference it. Okay, so that should be set now. So there's actually a couple of issues the whole time. That's awkward. Okay, does the ground have collision? It does not generate overlap events. We'll go yes. And hopefully this doesn't break anything for setting the ground as an overlap. It doesn't. Okay. Good. Hey! Okay, cool. We got that working. We got hello, Aiden. Hello, Symbiotic Spider. Thank you for watching. Isho, I do work in the industry, but not in the entertainment segment. I work in the government space of game development. Yeah, I can't like go too much into detail, but yeah, that's basically how it works. Is I make like gaming applications for the government and like video game based applications. It's cool. But I know C++. But I'm not like great at it. I know C# really well. I know visual scripting really well, and I know C++ enough to do basically anything I want, but I have to like look into it a bit. So yeah, the reason so I will say like the whole reason I don't use C++ on this project, because C++ is actually more optimized and faster, and you can have more customization, things like that. I don't use C++ on this project just because visual scripting is easier for anyone watching. It's all for the video. Like a little like thing I decided like early on that the blueprints are easier for people to look at and be like, oh, I see what's happening. So yeah. Thank you, Spider. That's nice of you to say. First level is technically completely done, mechanics wise. I also have a save system that I added that I show off at the beginning of the stream. I'll just kind of show that real quick. Let's go to levels and main menu. So if I hit continue, it will load my saves for cosmetics I've collected and the mission systems. And if I hit new game, it deletes all of that. So we're gonna go continue. And you can see here, it has 2 coins collected. As you can see, 1 in each level, and they're different tokens. I need to add a little like way to view on the right side of the screen, like what missions are completed. But yeah, I mean, I did build the save load system. That was pretty fun to add. This is for the hidden token, and this is for finding all of the soldiers. Now, if I go back and I hit new game, it deletes all of it. So, which right now, level 2 is like actually mostly done. But as far as like mechanics wise, technically, to where you can technically beat the level. But there's still a lot to it. Yeah, the level select, it's still all the same exact assets, but I did recreate it from scratch. And it's built in such a way where we can replace the art pretty easily. So if I like hit play, then it does like the camera bounce and like hovers at the different locations. And you can like go to the different levels. Right now there's no restrictions on the levels you can load into. There's technically 3 you can pop into. This is the bombs away level where you fight the airplane. You can see the grass is much taller here. Yeah, that's where you fight the boss. But this is just using like the level 2 assets with like our new fencing material that we got, our new fencing mesh that we have. I set the time to be like 10 minutes later in the day, so it's a lot darker. But with it being so dark, you can also really see the glow in the dark, what's it called? Blurring going on with the lighting system. So that'll require like a look into. Hello, XJ. Thank you for watching. But yeah, and then I can go back and exit any level at any point. So if I want to go here, let's say I want to collect a Bo Peep. This is not completely done, but let's see if I can. Sometimes I can make this jump, and sometimes I can't. No! Okay, you can see I have 1 sheep. If I exit level and then I go back into it, I need to make it to where it like starts the UI automatically. What's the easiest sheep to get to? Probably the car. Because right now you can jump on the fender. And you can like totally cheese this whole section. I need to make it to where you can't do that, but... Oh no, it only shows one still. Actually, that may be because I... Yes. Anyways, it does keep track. The reason it happens is because I have this little... Oh, I don't want level select. I want level 1. I added this in just to be like the original game, but I'm going to remove it. But basically, that sheep that's already collected needs to be like see-through. But basically, if you... what is this mission? Bo Peep. Basically, if the quest has not succeeded, it's going to forget the quest and completely restart it. But I had it to where it did keep track of it. I just did this real quick to make it start all the way from the beginning because I didn't have the sheep disappear when you collected some. You know, there's like questions around like tokens and like keeping track of which tokens have been collected already and stuff. Then it gets a little bit more complicated, but like with like things like sheep and stuff, that should happen automatically. But any quest you complete will be done automatically with the level select. So that's like still in progress, but it's like very close to done. Your second year on your channel? It's exciting. This channel is technically like 6 years old, but I did a Fable project like 3 years ago for like 6 months or something. And then I took like a year break or year and a half break or something like that. And then I did Toy Story, and I've been doing that for about a year and 2 months now. So, XJ, the soundtrack will be the exact same because I am not capable of doing anything different with that. That's not my skill set. So I'm going to use all of the original sound effects, mostly. Unless I like find like a better like sound effect for like something like an explosion or something like that, which sound effects are like super cheap to get. I could make my own sound effects, but it's not really my skill set, so not really what I'm best at. It should be the original sound effect for jumping. He technically does 2 different sounds when jumping. He does like a huh and a huh. Or, right? Huh, 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 huh. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, there's 2 different sound effects that play, and it will randomly pick which one. But yeah, level 1's going good. I'm really happy to get the save load system in. I'll show you the save load system actually working, so you know I'm not a complete fraud or something. I'll collect the same pizza token, which is like pretty easily cheesed. This whole game is like technically easy to cheese. Oh, I'm not gonna make that. I'm not gonna make it. That's fine. Also, like, you don't technically need the shield in the original game like at all. You can just tank hits from like everything. I think I know how SMBs... I don't really know what... Oh, well, I'm not really interested in hiring anyone except Kyle. The project doesn't actually make that much money. And so, like, a lot of the money goes back into business expenses. Kyle and I pay Kyle a portion of, like, all sponsorship money and stuff. And so... and also, like, the more people I bring on, the more production task I have and not as much development tasking. All right, so we collected that And there you go. Now, if I turn it off and back on, you can see it's still there. So that's the save load system working. So that was fun. I worked on that for like a week. The issue is I had to completely redo like most of my quest. Not completely, but I had to redo a large portion of all my quest work because the way I had set it up wasn't actually good for multiple levels. And so I had to make that actually work. So like when I had like the missions in here and I had quest and Andy's room, to complete this, to complete Ham, you just had to collect 50 tokens, but not 50 Andy's house tokens, which is a different type of collectible, right? Because if I just have like collect tokens, then technically if you collect 50 tokens here, and then Andy's neighborhood requires you to collect 50 tokens, then it would complete that too. So, yeah. Yeah, I like most of the original soundtrack. The original game, the sound effects are crunchy, but it's good enough for this project. So, there was a remastered soundtrack for the game that someone made, and I'm using the actual music that was remastered technically, but none of the sound effects are. It's all still crazy. Okay. So I have what have we gotten done? Because the goal was to get the soldiers mission working, which it does work now. So this guy will let you, like you can talk to him. I need to get his dialogue set up correctly, but I need to play the original game to see what he actually says specifically. That would be a fun stream, just playing through the original game on stream. I'm going to do that someday. But, because right now his dialogue is technically all of Bo Peep's dialogue. Where it's like, hey Buzz, please help me find my 5 missing sheep. When you find them, come back to see me for a pizza token. You found my sheep, Buzz. Thank you. So I need to see exactly what he says, but yeah, this is our dialogue system. But anyways, you can complete the quest though, at least. So that quest is completable. The race I need to set up because right now I just have this token hanging out. I need to make it to where RC actually races you and tries to beat you, and if you beat him, then the pizza token spawns then. I also still need to implement like RC to actually race well. I need to make him use a car component system. What do you mean edit the quest with fonts? I will say like this will not stay. This is just for me. And so I have no intentions of that staying forever. The whole like quest started toy soldiers stuff. I have the data here, like help Sarge find his missing soldiers. Like all that's tracked because I am going to display that on like level select possibly. Yeah, I do have Toy Story fonts in the game. It's called Gil's. The exact font name is Gil something. Let's see, is it in UI? Gil Sans Ultra Bold. This is that font. So, not this level, but on level select, there is some like that right there is the Gil Sans font. I'm not going to make Toy Story 3 game after this, but I did really consider it the first time. the reason I didn't is because if you play that game on a Series X, it still looks very nice. And at the time I didn't have Kyle, and so I didn't think I would be able to make it look good enough to justify it existing. And so that was the whole reason I didn't. But I do like that game much more than Toy Story 2, but I like both a lot. But yeah, and I don't really want to do another Toy Story game right after this. I'm not against doing a Disney Pixar game, but I'm also not against doing something else random like Speed Punks on PS1. I actually kind of want to make a kart racer pretty badly, but I don't know if I'm going to do that next or not. But Speed Punks is awesome. It's a good game. It's a kart racer on PS1, or at least it used to be. I haven't played it in like a few years now, but how many for AAA games like GTA 6, for example? How many people do you think have seen the full game? What the full game consists of? Like as far as like developers, it depends. QA maybe, but even then mostly not, because most of them are like tasked to like certain missions and they replay that mission for like weeks straight. Like every 40 hours a week they will play through it and then file reports on it and stuff. But at like I know like Double Fine, the people who did Psychonauts 2, Toy Story Racer. I would be okay with Toy Story Racer. But anyways, like Psychonauts 2, when that was in development, they had the whole studio do playtests, like a whole days long, and just do stuff. So I mean, pretty much everyone was aware of the full game's content, but they had, it just depended on if they actually saw it or not. But yeah, I think a large majority of actual in-house developers know the full game's content. Not positions like animator or not positions like QA, things like that. But yeah. Actually, yeah, when he's like standing on the ledge, he's like, whoa! Yeah, and it repeats over and over again. You meant starting them and ending the quest with the dialogue being stylized. I have something that may be similar to what you're talking about. I just added this for the sake of like the build with the save load. When you collect a token, you have this that flies in, and it tells you what collectible you got. So right there, I unlocked the glow-in-the-dark Buzz cosmetic. Oh no! Let's try it again, because my camera's all crazy. And this like slides in, Again, it's me playing on OBS, because there's a very slight delay. For some reason, I just always do that. Alright, closed eyes cosmetic. So, I can go to cosmetics, and then I can go to red, white, and blue. Hold on. I need to fix this menu to be like the main menu, because you can't actually see the button to exit. You have to exit with that right now. Let's go back to it though. There we go. But yeah, when you collect a collectible, there's that like pop in. I really need to finish this cosmetics menu, because this looks scuffed, but also with a fake buzz, so it doesn't actually show you what the cosmetic looks like I want. So this needs cleaned up a bit. Also, UI should be off. Oh, you can't see it though. Oh no. UI should be off when you're on this menu as well. So these should not be here. As well as like the health. But yeah. Well, all of their designers know a majority of the game, I'm sure, even if they haven't played it. In fact, there's probably no way they could have played it all. But the thing is also, like, you can just be scary enough as a company to where people won't leak stuff. Like, that's also possible as well. Like the level's like, okay, yes, I do want to make it more obvious on the level select what missions are complete. So the thing is, I'm thinking like on the right. Where's my mouse? Oh, you can't see it. Okay. Oh yeah, it turns off when it's inside the game. Anyways, on the right side over here, I want like a list of like what each mission is done, or maybe a pop-up that shows like which of these are actually done, and that's where I'll show like the quest name and the description, and then it'll be either see-through or visible. These icons, these pizza token icons, are something I need to do, because I was trying to remember how to make it to where you could make a texture spin without making like an actual texture sheet, and I remembered something called a render texture. So I can make a texture, and I can have a camera look at a real 3D object, and I can cast that camera's view to a texture. I don't know what it's called in Unreal Engine, but that's what it's called in Unity. So I need to look into how to actually do that. Seeing that when the first trailer came out for GTA 6, most of the devs found out it was dropping the same time we did. Oh, I mean, as far as like release dates and stuff and marketing material, yeah, that's all kept extremely secret. But as far as like actual like in-game content, that's shared among designers, because they want to make sure it's actually a cohesive experience. But but it's basically on a need-to-know basis, you know. So, like I said, animators won't know what a certain type of mission looks like or something, you know. Although they may still know the overall story and like the pitch of the game, basically. But yeah, it just depends. We were looking at level 2. We got distracted. We got the missions done for Sarge. Then we is this gonna cause an issue because he's within range of that? Let's actually see. This texture is a little messed up on its emissive. Anyways, so when you get close, he like shoots a firework. Whoops. Where's my controller? Let's see how all of them look, because we didn't actually test that. This guy like looks like really bad on this. Is he gonna lose his emissive? I don't know why he looks like that. It's because I don't know. Weird. Anyways, so he shoots fireworks. The grass does get a little bit in the way of the camera. That's an issue with playing like a game like this where you're a small character. Because Buzz is technically 6 inches tall. Let's go over here and check this guy out. Oh, all of the emissives are weird here. Okay. Because he was weird too. It's almost like a light bake issue. If you're wondering why I have to like be a little crazy, it's because these do not work as climbable poles yet. These 4 trees, and so you have to cheat this part of the level technically to beat it. Also, these are set up weird with the camera. That's an easy fix. Okay, so you saw his, but this one doesn't really help with that. But I have that one. There's one in the tree and then one up, whoops, in the puzzle, which we're not going to do the puzzle one. Hey, what's up, buddy? Glad to see ya. Oh no, I had too much momentum. Okay. Yeah, that all works well, so I think that's good. The health bar that I currently have is a placeholder. I have an actual one that I need to implement. I've just not done it yet. I don't know if it is more normal. Like it's not like this like badge looking shape. But yeah. It'll be good. So that's good. Let's make sure this actually hurts us, because I didn't actually ever test that. Look, the texture streaming is not working. That's actually what's probably going on with all this. Well, the liquid spill definitely hurts me. So I'll wait for this to go away. Go right there. Owie! And then that doesn't actually. Okay, so that's good. So you have, I'm guessing Buzz has like 20 health to 30 health by default. Let's look, because I actually don't know. Any of y'all been playing Claire Obscure? Expedition 33? Man, what a masterpiece, right? No spoilers from chat in case anyone hasn't played it, but it's man, it's like a generational event. Oh, is the respawn? Oh no, I put it here. I was like, why did I start here? I didn't understand. Yes, you can respawn. Oh, I need to let it drop and just walk into it. That'll be faster, because then I could do repeat damage. Now, there's no animation or anything for it yet, but yeah, you can respawn. There's also different like checkpoints in the level. So let's say that let's get up here, because there's a checkpoint inside on top on this bottom branches. So let's say you get here and then you can die. You spawn at your last checkpoint. And there's like all these different checkpoints throughout the map. There's one here. There's one at near the top of the tree. There's one at each of these entrances to these yards. And so there's not that many on this level specifically. But yeah, there's like one right here as well that I just walked into. So if I then take out myself again. Oh man, that's like no damage. Okay. Buddy. Anyways, you can see that it kind of like starts you where you last were. But there's only a couple in this. No, I didn't recreate it or upscale it. It's just directly from the original PC version of the game. Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, like audio upscaling is not something I'm capable of. And like audio remastering and music remastering and things like that. So yeah, there's still a lot of mechanics to add to this level though. Like we're not done. So for example, like these planks are already knocked over because my pushable system doesn't allow for pushing things over. I need to add that implementation in. This car, like being able to like jump up and down, needs to be fixed. I also need it to where you can't jump off on the bumper, you'll slide off. I need to add that. But yeah, so those, I need to add the mechanic here for you stomp and it like lowers it and stuff. All that's good. Ham's mission and dialogue doesn't work, I don't think. I need to fix that, which is probably a really easy fix now I'm thinking of it. The kite enemy needs to be created. Right now, here's this pizza token. The race needs to be created, which I have a race manager in a racing system. I just need to actually put that in here. I have a system for being able to jump through the bottom of platforms and then they become possible to jump on. And so when these are remade, they're being remade in such a way where that I can do that for these, but I have to wait until that's done. The duck mechanic, I need to look into buoyancy for it because right now I just made it a launcher to reach the pizza token. But in the original game, you would jump on it or ground pound and it would sink far into water with you on it and it would come up really fast and then you can jump at its apex and reach the pizza token. I thought this shrunk. I guess it doesn't. This like buoyancy is like fake, but in the original game you could jump on it, it would sink far under the water and then bounce up and you could jump off. Right now it's just a launcher, so I need to look into buoyancy for that. I need to make the rocket boots mechanic because even though they're not originally unlocked in this level, I want to make sure to grab that. That way I can actually still have it in the level. But yeah. Yeah, I want to add lights to the level, but right now all that is just a skylight map. So I haven't looked into it, Larry. I would assume that Unreal Engine already has some kind of buoyancy system. And so, if so, I can reuse that. I have these, which are actually ripped from level 1. Just to add like a couple lights outdoor. But the houses will not be done by the next video. The next video is coming out early July. Early-ish July. And it's going to be basically all about level 2 and making this level. So we have a lot of work to do before then. We're not going to have all the art done, but we want most of the work, most of the assets remade by then. So that includes the posh yard here and the courtyard need to be 100% finished, except for the houses. But the posh yard and the courtyard need to be finished, and then that leaves the messy yard and whoa, and then like the lawnmower and like a couple of small things like that. We even remade like the dirt mounds here. Like these are completely new, and they look really cool. And we even have this system working, right? Oh, it's a texture stream issue, so you can't see the smoke. Okay. That's fine. Anyways, even if it did, it would probably be more efficient just faking it since it is such a small part of the game. Yeah. I don't know the math off the top of my head of how I would fake it either. Because, I mean, linear math is, I think that's what it would technically be considered. Linear math is pretty complicated. I don't know. There's ways to fake it to where I could have like fake gravity for that specific object, and I could just adjust the force against the fake gravity. And that'd probably be the easiest way technically, but it would be linear math. And so I've done fake gravity for stuff before, but yeah. How are the cutscenes gonna work? something like this, where it uses a cinematic camera, but it's obviously pretty simple. The issue is I can't obviously get like voice recordings of this stuff. So if I had voice recordings of what they actually say, I could make their mouths move with the audio at least. But it'll be like a cinematic camera like this. So it'll be like a nice looking shot. And all the characters have like different like, you know, cinematic cameras that happen. Like Hams is over here to the right. If we go to RC, it like stares us both down. Whoa. So that one's not quite as cinematic, obviously, but if I let's take a shortcut, go to the boss one actually has a little bit of movement. Oh my goodness. I'm getting that like double screen issue. So it actually has a little bit of movement. And then he'll fight me. Whoa! He like really goes at you. I need to add a cap on how fast you can shoot the laser to like 5 a second or something like that. Oh no, I missed. What a shame. Did I pick up the pizza token? It says quest updated. It didn't say quest succeeded. Did I pick it up already? See, I need to add like UI for actually completing a quest. Ignore me pushing the box from the top too. That was not how it's supposed to be. Let's just see. That's not for beating the boss, so for some reason it didn't generate. Which like I said, I've been redoing all the quest stuff, so that one may not be working yet because level 1 is what I was focusing on. Like this is called AH Boss, and when his dialogue spawns the token, oh, it's not in the dialogue, is it? Is it on the actual robot? It might be. 10 robot. Enemy has died. Complete narrative task. Okay, well, so for some reason the token doesn't spawn, so I'll have to look into why that is the case. But I feel like that's like super simple, right? I'm kind of like want to figure this one out. Andy's room boss. Here it is. And now the token will spawn. Okay. So yeah, just simple stuff like that, from like changing the whole mission system to work with multiple levels. Oh, you mean like the cutscenes before the levels? Yeah, I don't know. You know, if this was going to be like a full on like actual thing, I think it would be fun is to have like the guy who does Rex do voiceovers of like the story and like him talking through about how everything happened and stuff. That would never happen, but that would be fun. I think that'd be a fun way to do it, because I would love to have this be a retelling of the movie by Rex, and that explains why everything's much crazier. Yeah, the 5.6 stuff in Unreal is really cool. I can't. You should never upgrade your engine during a project, and so I'm not going to like touch Unreal Engine new versions until I move on to something else. But yeah, it is like really cool stuff. I would like to get a motion tracking suit at some point. You know, maybe I can get a sponsorship deal for something like that for a video and be able to do like body tracking animations, which would save me because I can't get an animator. The game is pretty good, Corey. It's has some, like the original has some issues, but it's still like overall like a good game. So it's worth playing, at least. There's like the best level in my opinion is a mix between Al's penthouse, probably actually just takes the top. That's my favorite level. And then after that would probably be like Al's toy barn, and then like level 1. Level 2 is good too. The worst level is level 5, which is alleys and gullies. That level is really bad. Yeah, Spider, exactly that. Like the cutscenes and have them voiced over by Rex, or just reanimate the cutscenes. This is all like pretending like I had like $10 million to remake the game. But that would be like my grand vision would be to reanimate it like a Kingdom Hearts style, and then have Rex voice actor talk over it. Larry, they usually work directly with Epic. So, like for example, the people who make Borderlands work directly with Epic, and Epic provides them with specific updates for stuff that are not out yet. And so they actually have like a custom version of Unreal Engine that they are given by Epic directly, and then they get updates directly from Epic that are compatible with their stuff. So like Epic handles a lot of that. We've had to do engine upgrades for projects before at work, and cause we're a smaller team, like a mid-sized team. It's annoying, but it can be done. But usually you do it on the side, and you test out if anything breaks or not, and then you get details of everything that breaks, because stuff will break, and then you figure out if it's worth the upgrade or not. Because usually you're upgrading for some kind of feature, but if you can remake the feature yourself faster than fixing all those things that broke, then it might be worth it. I mean, video to mocap, you can technically use an Xbox One Connect to get like basic animations. People do that for VTubing. They get an Xbox One Connect, connect it to their computer, and then capture animations for it. The guy who does Stuff Made Here, the guy who made like the basketball net that never misses, he used the Connect for that too. Yeah, no problem, Spider. You take care. Have a good night. Anyway, so we fixed this token from not spawning, so that's awesome. I think we're wrapping up here. I've been yawning for like an hour and a half already. Usually I stay up until like 3 in the morning. Right now it's like 12:30, but so I don't know if I'll make it till 3. But still, I've been yawning for like an hour and a half already. Yeah, no problem, Spider. Anytime. Next time, hopefully I can get Twitch streaming to work. I tried multi-stream, and Twitch just never started. And so I don't know why. So I'll have to look into that. But I want YouTube to be my main streaming platform, but because I think it makes more sense for my type of content. But I want it to be accessible to people. So, and also like there's also like the style of live streams that you do, and my style of live stream is for the YouTube audience. You know, it doesn't really align with most of Twitch viewers, but I still want to be accessible for anyone who does prefer watching on there. Yeah, I got a decent amount of stuff done this stream. Like small features. The slime dropping is like super simple, but I would like it to make it to where the slime drops. There's a little like Niagara particle system effect that goes off, and then like when it goes away, it like actually shrinks in, which is, that one's not as hard to do, but could I finish the game tomorrow? You know, maybe. I could probably finish a couple more features tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, like this whole like save load system has been giving me plenty of headaches already. I've been making builds of the game. Like, let's see if I can. Yeah, we want to completely delete those. I deleted these. I emptied all this yesterday, but this is a bunch of builds of the game, like EXEs, and all of these were deleted because of stuff that wasn't working with like the save load. Save load isn't hard to do, but I kept finding issues, like small issues, every time I make a build. This is just from like today or yesterday. I've made like 30 builds in the last week, though. So I just keep having like issues pop up, like small issues that are annoying that would be like, I don't want that in there. But you know, I need a build though that I can like actually have in a stable position so I can hand it off to like any potential employers that want to like test out something I made or something, you know. We'll see. Yeah, it'd be like that episode of Nathan For You where he like wanted to make a maid business where like a bunch of people clean a house, and he's like, I bet I could get 100 maids to clean 100 times faster than one maid. And so he like hired like 100 maids to work for like 2 minutes each, all at the same time. The house just fully crowded. Yeah, it didn't work out, but it was a funny video, or a funny show. Working on a Mega Man Legends 2 remake on Unreal Engine. Well, you wanna know a little bit of fun knowledge? Hold on, my camera's gonna freeze. I don't have it open. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, I actually have. Tell me the name of the channel. I'll look at it. But I have an Excel sheet that keeps track of all these different Unreal Engine 5 remakes and what I would rate them. Here, we're going to delete the rankings, and I'm going to delete, hello, am I not, view only? Okay, so this is not the right. Which Google account is allowed to work on this? Okay, this one. I'll delete all of the rankings and the notes except for one. But this has been a long-term video I've been working on. Is there anything else on there I shouldn't show? I technically already showed it, but that's fine. Yeah, I know. Okay. This is an Excel sheet document I've been working on of all the Unreal Engine 5 remake projects that I'm aware of on, well, not aware of totally, but like a lot of the major ones on YouTube. And I want to make a video about this topic because some of them are really good and some of them are really bad. My goal is not to call out the people who are not untalented, people who are not as talented at video making, and so their videos just aren't as engaging. It's mostly to talk about this guy here. But that's like some future stuff. Like yeah, just all their videos are like clearly fake, and I want to make a video talking about this entire topic of Unreal Engine 5 remakes on YouTube, because it is very saturated now. And it's a lot of people use it as a cheat sheet to get like a bunch of subs and stuff. But sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. So you can see like the channel sub count in like this column, and none of them have hit millions. That's like an important distinction to make, right? Even like this channel that has 110 million views has 300,000 subs, which is less than Rubes, who did Simpsons Hit and Run, had 18 million views and almost 400,000 subs. Yeah, it's Project Dream, I think is what it's technically called. It looked good. It was completely just a showcase thing, with like a trailer and stuff for their portfolio, but it was cool. Tugboat Games, I'm gonna put that on here, just so I recognize it. But yeah, this would be like an actual like narrative topic that I would do. I think that'd be really fun to make. I would assume it wouldn't perform well. That's my assumption, but it'd probably be like a 2-hour video, like a narrative video about this topic. So very unlike anything else I've done, but I think it'd just be fun to do, and that's what I care about most is the project fun. And so yeah, and my last video was kind of like a test of narrative content for my videos, because I did build like a little bit of a story into it very lightly about this remake and the expectations of how they have evolved and stuff. You know, I thought it was a good video, and I liked how that came out, so I was very happy with it. Cool. Well, I think with that, I think we're going to end it. Again, hopefully I get Twitch streaming working next, so anyone can watch there. I didn't announce it yet because I was going to test it out, and if it worked today, I was going to announce it for the next stream, but again, it will go unannounced until it actually works. So yeah, anyways, thank y'all so much for watching.